everyone. Guitar players, music appreciators, and curious undertakers of music theory and what puts it all together. Welcome to the Guitar Building Blocks video discussing the major and minor scales and playing them in different positions. Okay, so a quick recap. We talked about a major scale, the C major scale, and then we talked about a minor scale, the A minor scale. And I just gave you some examples. Well, I pretty much showed you the relationship between each of those scales and the chords that you could derive off of those. So the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. A minor scale, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. If you recall, they are the same exact notes. C major is the relative major of the A minor scale. Okay, so right there, we're only doing those in this area of the fretboard. Now, why do we want to learn the scales in different positions? So you have the C major scale here, and you can do it up here as well. And you can go even further. Now, one obvious reason would be to learn the fretboard, because pretty much we've only been playing between the 1st to the 5th fret when we've been talking about the scales. But after that, we have 6 going all the way up to, in this case, 14 or 15 if you want to go that far. And that's a lot of fretboard that we're not using. So going down that road, it helps educate you more on where the notes are at around the fretboard. So I could tell you that 3rd fret, 5th string is a C, and I can go to the 8th fret, 6th string, C, right there. So that's one thing, is learning the fretboard, pretty much learning to navigate this a lot better. And that comes in handy in a lot of ways. In what ways? Well, for example, one thing is, say for example you want to play a song and you have a G major chord, and you know how to do an open G major chord down here, okay? And then you have, say, a D minor chord after that. So that would be, if you play it down here, then you go up here. Okay, so say for example, going from this, okay, as you can see, that's spanning all 6 strings, to just these 3 strings up here. Say that's not really, you don't like the way it sounds. You have a little bit more bass because you're using the lower strings. And then when you play this chord, it's a little thinner sounding. And you're like, well, I don't like the way it sounds going from this form of the G major chord to this form of the D minor chord. So let's say if you want to go G major and then you say, well, where else can I do a D minor chord? Well, you could do something like this. Well, see, that's kind of not the easiest of positions, but you could also do a D minor here. Okay, but if you're only playing scales down here and whatnot, you may not be aware that you could do this chord down here or even here. So that's another thing, is by opening up your knowledge of the fretboard, you not only can do the actual scales themselves and maybe start to open the door of playing melodies elsewhere on the fretboard or even solos, but you can also determine other positions to play those chords. So you might be doing a G major here, and maybe if you want to kind of equalize getting those bass notes, if you're going to go, maybe not a D minor, if we want to go G major, and then we want to do an A minor, well, if we go like that, that doesn't really sound bad. But if we really want to get the body of the chord, we could go up here. And I mean, that sounds pretty good. I mean, the equalization between the chords, the treble and the bass and whatnot, to me, sounds about equal. So that could be another reason is the positioning of the chords. Voicing of the chords is a key word for that. So you may want to do a G major chord here, then maybe go to the A minor here, or you may want to go G major here, go A minor up here. So by knowing the scales, and if you're not really familiar, you know you want to play a chord up here, and maybe off the top of your head, you don't know offhand where the chord is at, but you know, for example, okay, so G major, the G major scale. Okay, I know that I could do a G major chord here. Maybe I'll do a bar chord. Okay, and then maybe you say to yourself, okay, well, that's A minor. That's based off the G major scale. Okay, so if I do A, C, E, and then I go up here and I'm like, okay, I have A, C, E. Then you're starting to open the door to figuring out that you could do an A minor chord in that position instead of just this position. So that's another important thing. And then obviously, I kind of touched briefly on doing soloing. So, you know, if you're playing something and you're doing G major, and, you know, if you're doing a solo and all that stuff down here, I don't know, just kind of making something up right there. And, you know, say that you want to expand upon that, and you know that you know where the G major scale is at down here, but you're probably going to run out of ideas, and you're not going to really be able to be very versatile or creative if you're stuck to one pattern. So by learning, you know, the G major scale, playing it right here, or playing it here, and then learning the next octave up, then that opens up the fretboard. So as you can see, there's a lot of good reasons why you want to be able to play scales in different positions along the fretboard. So let's get into it. So we did the C major scale down here, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. So as I already pointed out, the C here, 3rd fret, 5th string, is also C, 8th fret, 6th string. So we're going to do that same pattern, and it pretty much is exactly the same. So you have 2nd finger, 8th fret, 6th string, 4th finger or the pinky on the 10th fret, 6th string, 1st finger, 7th fret, 5th string, 2nd finger, 5th string, 8th fret, 4th fret or pinky, 10th fret, 5th string, and then we have 1st finger, 7th fret, 4th string, and we have 3rd finger on the 9th fret, 4th string, and lastly we have the 4th finger, the pinky, on the 10th fret, 4th string. So another thing to keep in mind, as boring as this may sound initially, it's a good idea when you're playing these scales to actually recite the notes, speak them out loud while you're playing them. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And obviously, you should do that in all the positions you're playing the scale. And over time, you're going to know, okay, this is an E note, well, this is a B note, this is a G note, because you did this. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so there you have it right there. So let's take that up and extend this to playing it in 2 octaves. So we do this in the 1st octave, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so now we're on the start of the 2nd octave already. So we have C, and we're going to do it like this, where we keep it in this box right here. We could do it this way, and then we could practically repeat the pattern an octave higher. And pretty much we will review that at some point, but what we're going to do for the 2nd octave, we're going to start the last note of the 1st octave, which is C, and then we're going to go 1st finger, 3rd string, 7th fret, that's D, and then we're going to go 3rd finger, 9th fret, 3rd string, that's E, 4th finger or pinky, 10th fret, 3rd string, that's F. 2nd finger, 2nd string, 8th fret, that's G. 4th finger, 10th fret, 2nd string, that's A. 1st finger, 1st string, 7th fret, that's B. And that's right, the 8th fret, 1st string, 2nd finger, which is C. So that's 2 octaves. And what makes this easy, and it'll come in time, is the fact that you're playing them all within these 4 frets, 2 octaves. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Then C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. And just so you know, that is a lot right there for somebody just starting out. So if you are ready to learn this, my recommendation is to just take this very slow, okay? Play one note at a time, make sure you hear the note, and then when you're ready to go to the next one, you know, no rush. Make sure that you can apply your finger to that fret. You have enough pressure going down so when you pick it, you hear the note. And you also want to make sure that you're not straining or aggravating your arm, because it won't be very comfortable at first, okay? And just take your time. You don't have to spend hours on this at one time. Life is busy, so if you could spend 10 or 15 minutes, make a little window to work on that and just take it one step at a time, that's just as good, and you will get it down. Okay, so that's the major scale. Now we're going to do the minor scale, and we're going to show it in the A minor form. So we did, and down here we did A, B, C, D, whoops, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So now we're going to go up to A, 5th fret, 6th string. And it goes like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, so we have 1st finger, 5th fret, 6th string. Then we have 3rd finger, 7th fret, 6th string. 4th finger or pinky on the 8th fret, 6th string. Then we have D, 5th fret, 5th string. And then we have 3rd finger, 7th fret, 5th string. 4th finger, 8th fret, 5th string. Then we have A on the 5th fret, 4th string. And, no, I'm sorry, that's G. G on the 5th fret, 4th string. Then we have A on the 7th fret, 4th string. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, now we'll do that in the 2nd octave, following the same method that we did for the C major scale. So we are on A right here. So we're going to go, let's see. Okay. Now here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to switch one thing that I told you. If you're only going to play it in one octave, you could do it like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And you can end on the 3rd finger. But if you're going to do it 2 octaves, I recommend that you end it on this finger, the 2nd finger. And here's why. Because the 2nd octave is played like this: A, B, okay, C, D, E, F, G, A. And if you're on the 2nd finger, then you're already in the right position to go forward, and you don't have to do any radical adjustments. So what we have here is 2nd finger, 7th fret, 4th string, that's A. Then we have the pinky finger, 4th finger, on the 9th fret, 4th string. Then we have C, which is on the 5th fret, 3rd string. D, which is on the 7th fret, 3rd string. 4th finger, pinky finger, on the 9th fret, 3rd string. F, which is on the 2nd string, 6th fret. And then we have G, which is on 2nd string, 8th fret. And then we have A, which I'm using 4th finger, 2nd string, 10th fret. So we'll do that whole thing slowly. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And then we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, so there you have it. Take your time on this. I recommend first, before going down the 2-octave road, play 1 octave first. So always good to recap what we did before. Play C major down here. Take it up here then. And same thing with A minor. And then once you have that comfortable, you know, the way that I just did it, I mean, you don't even have to play it that fast. If you're playing it like, and then you go, and you're doing it comfortably and it's becoming natural for you, then you can open it up to playing it in both octaves. So. Take your time on that and take breaks if necessary. So work on that, and also when you're playing these, repeat the notes as you play them. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. All right. Take your time with that, and believe me, it will help out tremendously. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the contents of my videos, please leave a comment down below. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps promote my music to everyone across the web and keeps you up to date with future video releases. Thank you.